Welcome to Daily Buzz News. Security expert Willem Els reacts to the arrest of two suspects linked to businessman Xolani Ndlovu-Ntombela's murder, as 121 dockets are handed back to the KZN Political Killing Task Team.
Thank you very much to Xolani Ndlovu for that business update. To this now, the Madlanga Commission, looking into allegations of political interference in the criminal justice system, says it's ready for public hearings to begin next Wednesday. It says all systems are in place and that the KZN Police Commissioner General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, who made the allegations of political interference in the task team looking into political killings, will be the first witness. Now, at the same time, the task team has made a breakthrough today, arresting two suspects in the murder case of a businessman, Xolani Ndlovu-Ntombela, who was killed back in 2022. Let's get some analysis on these developments now, and we're joined by Institute for Security Studies, Willem Els. Thank you very much for your time, Willem, as is normal. We appreciate your time. Let's start with these developments by the task team that has just had the dockets returned to it. They've always said, according to Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, that some of these cases were court ready, and here we are with them making an arrest. Do you think that this is a good development? What signs or what is significant about what they've just done?
Good evening to you, Tony. Yeah, indeed. You know, when Mkhwanazi made those allegations, as you mentioned, he said that there were some arrest warrants that were already issued, and that they were ready to be arrested, and those cases were stalled. So since it's been handed back, there was a bit of a ruckus about it, but we see now that it's bearing fruit, and that is how it's supposed to be. You know, the detective service and this task team, it's their mandate to investigate a crime, not that of Parliament or of a commission. That is the duty of the police, and it seems that they've taken that very seriously. And this breakthrough came even after you look at the case. This suspect was already arrested previously, but he was let go because of lack of evidence. And that begs to question, was it due to lack of evidence, or was it due to some interference from some kind? So this is actually, it vindicates to some extent the allegations by Mkhwanazi.
Well, this may be a vindication of sorts on the one hand, Willem, but does it take away the worries, not just of some people, but in the main, the president, who said that these 121 dockets are central to what is going to be investigated by the Madlanga inquiry. Therefore, his worry is that these could be tampered with. You think that those worries could potentially be put at bay now?
I think, you have to go and look at the processes and what is behind the scenes. Now, what we know is that whenever your task team or your detectives, they take custody of a case file or a docket like this, there are certain procedures that they have to follow. There are certain protocols that they have to follow. And also, one of the things that are being done is that a digital copy is being made of all your dockets in order to prevent the theft of documents from the docket, etc., etc. Also to protect the integrity of this docket. They are not stored at the same place. So that already provides us with some assurance that the due process will follow. But what we must just understand that there's a lot of allegations at the moment, and those allegations must be proven during this inquiries, whether it is in Parliament or whether it is within Madlanga. So at the end of the day, the Madlanga Commission can summon these police officers that are investigating. At any minute, they can come with the dockets as in the requested format, as we saw in the press statement, and they can still scrutinize that. Of course, the information that is not for public interest will be blanked and will not be broadcasted. But for the rest, it's supposed to be open and transparent.
Cynics will say this is one way for Mkhwanazi to prop himself up before he even appears before the Madlanga inquiry, or indeed the parliamentary inquiry that is going to be pursued here. Is that a fair comment? Would they be correct or clutching at straws?
Well, at the end of the day, you will see a lot of noise, and you'll hear a lot of noise from both sides of the spectrum, because at the end of the day, it's make or death for all the parties involved now. And what is going to come out of this inquiry might end the careers of many, or if not all of them. So there's a lot at stake for these people. But what we can also see is those are not the only arrests that have been made. We also saw that there was a breakthrough in the during Guaran murder investigation that's been stalled with the arrest of a suspect that was mentioned by Makhonazi. There's also the political affiliate from the Northwest Province that has also been mentioned, that's also coming up in this case. So there's quite a few things that are coming out now that actually makes you think maybe Makhonazi had something. But at the end of the day, he will have to, the proof is in the pudding. So Makhonazi will have to come up with evidence, and that will be scrutinized at the end of the day.
Makhonazi aside, there's Dumisani Khumalo, the head of intelligence, in court alongside his co-accused. They want to return to work as a matter of urgency, if you like. And today, interesting developments in a supplementary affidavit by the National Police Commissioner, General Fani Masemula, who appears to intimate in that particular document that an internal investigation, an internal police investigation, has cleared Mr. Khumalo, along with, I suppose, the people that he is charged with. What do you make of those developments? And does it tell us anything about either alliances or factions within the top police management?
Well, Colin, the top police management has been under scrutiny and under siege for some time, and not only under this National Commissioner, under previous ones as well. And we must just mention there that, many of them that are up there are really good police officers, and they are really putting their lives on the line every day. But we also see there are those that have got maybe their own interests at heart, and they are factionalized. So what we know is that the National Commissioner did this affidavit, but also what we also know is that there are two different processes. If you look at the process that he mentioned there, where they were cleared, that is a tribunal in terms of the discipline tribunals in producing standing orders. So at the end of the day, there are two separate cases. They are tried on separate principles, because with that one, the Labour Act is in there, and you work on the probability of what is the truth there. Where if you go to a criminal case is where the beyond a reasonable doubt must be proven according to the reasonable man. So this is two different systems. You cannot compare the two.
And there's an interesting figure in this internal disciplinary inquiry who conducted this, and this is the man charged with leading the police in the Western Cape, Thembisile Phathekile. We're learning that he is a lawyer by training, and therefore the spokesperson in the Western Cape within the MEC's office says that it's perhaps because he's a lawyer by training, and that's why perhaps the police management relies on him to conduct these internal investigations. So purportedly, he has cleared Dumisani Khumalo. The one person whom we have yet to learn what his findings may have been is Shadrack Sibiye, whose internal disciplinary inquiry he is also conducting. Is that interesting for you, or are we making too much? Are we making a mountain out of a molehill?
Well, of course, everything regarding to that will be interesting, but we must just look at what is the common practice within the police. Normally, when you have a disciplinary tribunal, especially in your more prominent cases, they will get a police officer, preferably a senior police officer, that's got some legal background or has got a legal background degree, and then they will be the chairperson of that meeting. You will have, or just in any other court, you will have your prosecutor, and then you will also have your defense. And these people can, of course, they can bring their lawyers. They must just inform the tribunal, or they can get the trade unions to defend them, etc., etc. So yeah, that's not unique. It is the norm. So I think we should not look too much into that. But of course, the outcomes will be very interesting.
Finally, let's look at the Western Cape. The acting police minister meeting top officials of the SAPS there to, I suppose, devise strategies about how to fight gang violence. And the minister saying that this is an evolving crime pattern, making reference to gang violence. Do you think that there is anything new that is going to come out of this meeting, or again, it's just another police minister who is seized with the same matter that his predecessors would have been seized with?
I think we should not view the current caretaker minister in the same light as your previous ministers. He doesn't have a thing to prove. He's coming in to stabilize. He doesn't have a political career ahead of him, etc., etc. So I think what he's doing is a step in the right direction, because I think a lot of what's happened here is the distrust between the political head and the operational heads of the police. That's been coming for some time, with the perceived interference, etc., etc. And if you look at the duties or the role of the minister, one of them is to look at strategies and policies, and then the national commissioner has to enforce or to start to implement those. And this is very important. It goes back a long way. Gang violence in the Western Cape goes back a long way. And if you look at the late 90s, we saw that the Pagat movement started because of the perception amongst the public that the police were not fulfilling their mandate in stamping out the gang violence, but also the drugs in the Western Cape. And then it all went south and pear-shaped because of the movement being hijacked, and we all know what is the history. So in order to prevent something like that in that volatile area, it is really important that they come up with a fresh and a new strategy, and to look at the mistakes and also the good practices of the past, and then build a new strategy. And that is ideal for the minister to do that now.
Willem Els, always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much for your time and analysis. He's with the Institute for Security Studies.
Thanks for watching.